All right, so we're going to be looking at triangles. Our homework for today is going to be asking for me to list the sides, order the sides of each triangle from shortest to longest, but I'm not giving measurement of sides. I'm giving measurement of angles. Another thing I'm going to have, questions 19 and 20, says order the angles in each triangle from smallest to largest, but I'm not giving the measurement of the angles. I'm giving the measurement of the sides. So let me take a look at triangles. One thing that I have this program. The cool thing of this program is that it measures the lengths of the sides. As you guys can see, when I talk about sides, I use two letters. See here on the left, the measurement of the segment AB. Notice I'm using the letters AB. Now here I have the measurement of the segment CA. If you call it CA or AC, that's fine, as long as you use the two letters that make that side. And then the measurements of the segment BC. You can see that. Now, for you to see that they're not just numbers that I just wrote down there, these are actually measurements. Notice when I move this point, measurement CA in the measurement of the segment BC, they change. See how the measurement of AB doesn't change? Because the segment doesn't change. But what if I move this other point? So you see how the measurements change. So this thing is measuring the sides as I move the points. So I'm going to say, all right, I have the measurements of the sides. Now let me measure the angles. Notice how here I'm using all three letters. For angles, I use all three letters. But the corner that I'm interested in, the letter here, the vertex, I make sure it is the letter in the center. I'm going to use all three letters of the triangle. But notice how here the A is in the center. BAC. So it says measurement of angle BAC, and it gives me some measurement. If I could have also called it CAB, as long as A is in the center. Notice here at the bottom left, B is in the center. Measurement of angle ABC. I could also call it CBA, as long as B is in the center. Now this other corner, look, C is in the center. Measurement of angle ACB. Now, in red, I have the angles. In blue, I have the sides. Let me see on the sides. The smallest side is 11.51, right? I can compare my numbers. The smallest side, I'm going to say it's 11.51. When I look at my angles, the smallest angle is 54.76. One interesting part, though, is that the smallest side is opposite from the smallest angle. In geometry, opposite means far away. So look at the smallest side is opposite from the smallest angle. So I will be able to know which angle is the smallest if I'm only given the sides, because the smallest side is opposite from the smallest angle. Let's take a look at the biggest side, right? I can compare my numbers. The biggest side is 13.18. Looking at the angles, my biggest angle is 69.27. Same thing happens here. The biggest angle is opposite from the biggest side. Right? The smallest side is opposite from the smallest angle. The biggest side is opposite from the biggest angle. And as we can see, the medium side is opposite from the medium angle. Remember, geometry means opposite. So in the homework, it makes sense that I don't give you the measurements of the sides. For the first homework, the first questions I said, order the sides of each triangle from shortest to longest, but I don't give you the measurements of the sides. I give you measurement of angles. What I want you guys to practice is, let me zoom into here. I look for the smallest angle first. The smallest angle here it is 50. And I know the smallest angle is opposite from the smallest side. So for sides, we always use two letters. So I'm going to call this QR. The smallest side is QR. I don't know how big is it. I just know it is smaller. Then the mediums, after 50, I go to 60. And I'm going to say the medium side, in this case, because it's opposite, the medium side is opposite from the medium angle. So I'm going to say the side that is medium, I'm going to use those two letters, S and R, in any order. You can call it SR or you can call it RS. And then the biggest angle is 70. That means the biggest side is QS. Make sure when you type in your homework, you're typing in all capital letters. Don't forget the commas in between. And also, let me emphasize, there is a space after each comma. Okay, so let's take a look at number 18. The smallest angle. The smallest angle is 55. Right? I can compare my numbers. That means the smallest side is the side TV or VT, right? However you guys want to order those two letters. For the angle, the medium angle, right, after 55, I will go to 58. That means the medium side is the side UT. The biggest angle is 67th. That means the biggest side is UV. So given the angles, I can put the sides in order from shortest to longest. And I can do the opposite as well. Here it says order the angles in each triangle from the smallest to largest. I'm given the side. So what I'm going to do is, let me find the smallest side. The smallest side is 12. And it is opposite from the smallest angle. But remember, angles, I write them using three letters. I'm going to use the three letters that make the triangle, but X is in the center. So I'm going to call this angle ZXY. Then after 12, the medium side is 20. Right? I can compare the numbers. So my medium angle will be XZY. Now my biggest side is 21. That means my biggest angle is ZYX. Right? My biggest angle is ZYX, but if you call it XYZ, as long as Y is in the center, you're fine. Now let's take a look at number 20. The smallest side, I can compare the measurement. The smallest side is this side, right? 10 is the smallest. So I'm going to say this is my angle. I'm going to use, once again, all three letters, but now I'm making sure that X is in the center. So I'm going to call this ZXY. If you call it YXZ, as long as X is in the center, you're fine. My second measurement is 12, right? I'm going from small to large. This side is 12. So that means this in green is the medium angle. I'm gonna use all three letters, making sure Y is in the center. So Z, Y, X. You call it XYZ, you're fine. And the biggest side is 19th. That means the biggest angle is that one. I'm gonna make sure Z is in the center, so I'm gonna call this XZY. And that's how you do this homework.